All right, now lawyer Joyce Majiwa and High Court Judge Lydia Achode will today face the Judicial Service Commission as it continues to interview candidates for the position of Deputy Chief Justice. Majiwa is formerly the chairperson of FIDA. She is a founder, member of the Institute for Education in Democracy, and one-time vice chairperson of the Law Society of Kenya. Achode, who faces the JSC in the afternoon, was appointed to the High Court in 2011, having previously served as the registrar of the High Court and as a Chief Court Administrator. Last year, she was appointed by former Chief Justice Willie Mutunga as the Deputy Judge of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Division of the High Court. Let's now cross over there live and continue listening to the line of questioning by the JSC.
As it were, as a society.
I think information is very important for people to stop speculations, for people to stop imputing bad motive on every aspect of action that is taken, for people to know, to be in the know and make good decisions and move on. So I think information is very, very important. Maybe the way that we give information to the public is not right, causing the atmosphere to be rife with the speculation. I don't see anything wrong with the judiciary, legislature, and executive going to anywhere to fight for Kenya for any cause whatsoever. But I think what is important is that information is out there, and people know the right information and have it and don't abuse it.
Therefore, you identify information, communication as a challenge on the part of the judiciary. So you seek to become Deputy Chief Justice. How are you going to help in this area?
I think robust communication is important. Robust communication is very, very important. Even cases which have been decided can go a long way in public education. Judiciary, I think, also as a government institution, has a role in civic education, and part of it is just communicating judgments, communicating our strategy, communicating what it is that we're doing, communicating our recruitment, communicating our future vision, so that people know and identify with us. And as a judiciary, we're also part of the community.
Now, identify 3 or 4 important attributes that are required for the position you are applying for, and how your experience, your learning, your skills, competences have prepared you for those attributes.
Okay. I think the first attribute is impartiality. Impartiality, the court must be completely impartial. And I have, do you want me to say one by one?
Your position, you seek the position of Deputy Chief Justice. Mm-hmm. What is it about you that prepares you for this position? And we are talking about, when you name 3 attributes.
Still the same for me, because I'm applying for this position. I have those attributes. One is I'm an impartial person. I am absolutely impartial. I'm objective. I look at matters objectively. I decide on the basis of facts and evidence. So I'm impartial, and I've done that through the organizations that I've led. I've actually even also led one of the constitutional committees that was convening transitional and consequential arrangements. I've worked with so many different people, and my impartiality actually led me to be successful in that committee, which was very, very, very...
Council, I would like you to relate it to the functions of the Deputy Chief Justice as you understand them under the Constitution.
Yeah, so the functions of the... First of all, as I'm coming as a judge of the Supreme Court, meaning I will be judging and meaning I will be impartial. But objectivity will work for me both ways, in my functions as an administrator and in my functions as a judicial officer. I will, as an objective person, I listen to facts, and then I decide matters on facts. That will work for me either way. I have that. I'm an objective person. I work with people from across the board. I'm also very independent-minded. I think for myself, and I say the things. If I'm going to be wrong, so be it. But I believe in the Supreme Court, there will be 7 judges to complement, 6 judges or 5 judges to complement me. So if I'm wrong, at least there will be, we'll be bringing our heads together. But I'm independent as a person, and I would also guard the independence of the judiciary, which will be a big role in if I was to be the Deputy Chief Justice, because guarding the independence of the judiciary is important. I'm a just person. Actually, justice is what drives everything I do since I became a lawyer.
Counsel, I'm with you. The questions I'm going to pose is rather strong. That's why there's a sigh.
Not to worry.
Your 2 predecessors have left under difficult circumstances. So I imagine that at perception level, this is a very challenging position, even as you apply to become one. Is it something that you thought about? Is there a challenge? Something you want to do differently?
It's difficult for me to talk about people who are not here, because if I say they wouldn't be able to defend themselves. But I think if I became the Deputy Chief Justice, my immediate predecessor left because she served her term and came to her age and left. So, but the case of the first DCJ was an unfortunate case, a truly unfortunate case that should not have happened. And yes, it makes me cautious. It makes me think that we have to, for me, it makes me think that we have to have same standards for everybody. They should be high standards, but they should be the same for everybody.
My last question, does the position of CJ have tenure, as it were, tenure in terms of how long can one stay in that position? If you are 58, you can stay until you are 70. Is that something that you are prepared for, unless you become Chief Justice?
That is actually my career progression. Should I enter the judiciary, I would apply to be a Deputy Chief Justice. Should an opportunity come, definitely I would like to go higher. That would give me like 5 years in every position, 5, 6. That's reasonable.
Thank you, Chair.
Just for my own curiosity, if the first CJ and the second CJ who have left, if they were men, would they have been treated differently, in your view?
Okay, with regard to age, it's just age. I think that the DCJ and one of the Supreme Court judges had the same case about the court. But the first DCJ, as I've already said, it was very unfortunate, and I think that should never have arisen. I think there was a gender issue in it, but I think one of the things that I want to try and do when I come to the judiciary is really sensitize the judiciary about gender issues. I want a judiciary that is sensitive to gender.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me call upon Commissioner Gucho.
Thank you, Chair. I have seen in your application that you have said that this is a position in which I have great interest. What is this great interest that you have in this position of Deputy Chief Justice?
I have an interest in justice. I've alluded to it. I have an interest in justice. I think my track record shows that. There is a way in which you can help justice, help the cause of justice, advance justice if you're a practicing lawyer. But there is a greater and broader aspect in which you can advance justice if you're actually a Deputy Chief Justice, moving on to Chief Justice. So that is my great interest. I want to advance justice in a position where I can actually touch the lives of many and leave an impact of justice, leave an institution that people remember as a just institution.
Okay, can you just break it down for us? When you say that you want to advance justice,
Okay.
break it down in terms of practical steps, practical activities, practical initiatives,
Okay.
and creative initiatives that will help us to take us through to be able to advance justice.
Okay. One, in my role as in the judiciary, definitely through my judgments, the jurisdiction, the jurisprudence that will come out of my judgments should be able to demonstrate justice. Parties should go out of my court or of the Supreme Court saying that I have had justice, not grumbling that I have not had justice, or that there has been delay, or that there has been a barrier to justice. Okay? So that is access to justice from issues of decisions that I'm going to make, or that the Supreme Court, together with me, are going to make. With regard to administration, again, issues of fairness, issues of objectivity, issues of not discriminating against one gender, for example, I will institute that in the judiciary so that no particular gender feels excluded or feels that I should fear this position because I may suffer these consequences. So advancing justice both ideologically and practically. I don't know if I answer your question.